And we are back ready to talk about myth number 4 that's really important for those of you that are in the residential construction industry. When we think about quality, we talk about quality. Myth number 4 is the idea that customer complaints are the best quality control. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why that is just not a great perspective to come at. First and foremost is because you're really not leading yourself from a market perspective and defining what it is that you as a company believe is your standard of quality that your customers should be expecting from you. But Danielle, I'm sure you've got a ton of firsthand experiences of where organizations are relying really heavily on the customer to define quality as opposed to doing it themselves.
Yeah, especially in today's market, Heather, I've been seeing a lot of, I think, ideas around we can reduce our initiative around the, sort of warranty side or the client experience side. And it's to your own detriment. I mean, really to use your customer, I think it's customer complaints. And I have to start off, Heather, our customers never complain. They make requests. And how do you ever feel like if someone says, anyway, that's just a small point with me, is that they're never complaints, they're requests. But if there's no quality standard, how do I organize those requests into warrantable or not warrantable? And if you haven't defined it, you can't share it. And if you can't share it, you can't train around it. So what happens is not just inconsistent decision making within the company and between teammates, is that your customers are given a very different customer handling experience. And no doubt they're going to talk about in the elevator how, Heather, you got the make good or the, the free, toaster and I didn't. And that will make, sort of brand reputation at risk. I also think you spend more money that way, frankly, too. I think it's a very slippery slope when you use your customers, your quality control.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've had similar experiences where, being on site and having a conversation between the different teams. You've got project management there, you've got site there, you've got customer care there. And the discussion is about, can we get away with it with the customer, or is the customer going to notice? And using that as sort of the litmus test of deciding what is quality and what is not. And again, the really important thing here is that if you are an organization that is committed to quality, then it is about having your own definition and your own expectation, establishing your own standards that are providing folks the direction. So it's not about, what can we get away with, or how do we come with the lowest price in? Unless, of course, your aim is not to be a quality company when it comes to construction of residential homes.
I think and you're so right, Heather. I would use the expression creating a culture of quality, so that everybody that somehow has an involvement in, sort of the project delivery and even beyond understands what that means. And, I would hear expressions, we can't be like company X. We're not going to spend that kind of money. It's, again, I find it very interesting. If it's about the money, then you do have a proactive, not reactive quality model. And reactive is when you're waiting for the customer, to come in at PDI and identify it. And often if you're doing it that late, then you don't have time to fix it for closing. And the post-occupancy repairs are the most expensive to fix because you have their furniture, you have to organize permission to enter, you got Fifi the dog, barking at you, or children at home. So it becomes something that if we dial it back to this, idea of a culture of quality, it's really, you're setting it at the level that you believe, that you're establishing for your brand. But then it's having everyone understand what that means. Like, you get consistent answers. You have systems and procedures around what that means. And, again, you got to do it so it fits your business model, and it's not a one size fits all. It does have to, I liked what you said. It has to be tailored to your own specific company and what your capabilities are.
And that is often one of the first steps that we do when we go into organizations to help them with their quality management practices and their project governance practices, is to work within the organization to define what is the right quality model for you that meets your business, that meets your target market, that is aligned with your brand and the expectations you're trying to set with your customer. Most importantly, moving our clients out of this reactive customer feedback driven approach to quality to to actually doing something that is internally driven and really about your business and about managing costs. As Danielle said, we're trying to come at this in a really proactive way because ultimately it allows you to deliver a better quality product or outcome home at the end of the day at a much lower cost because of this approach to defining your quality standards and having everybody work in alignment to relative to that.
So I like talking about the 1-10-100 rule that, when we go into, as you said, we go into businesses, the first thing is we look at how do they define it, and looking at how to, sort of create the model that works for them. But it's always invariably, we're working to get people from a reactive, sort of mindset to a proactive one. And the cheapest efficiency is the one, or the best efficiency is the one the customer never sees. So in my mind.
Absolutely. So if you're really interested in learning more about our 5 myths of quality management in the residential construction industry, check out some more of our videos, as well as you can hop over and grab our download. You check out the link that is in and attached to this video here. And we look forward to connecting with you and helping your organization to navigate through the 5 myths of quality management.
Thanks, Heather.